Welcome to Muskegon Rising, a community service project of the Muskegon Rotary Club. Our purpose is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here since 1916. So, let's get started.
Hello and welcome to Muskegon Rising. I'm your host, Aaron Mikey. And today I'm here with Beth Ann Egan, the Executive Director of the USS Silversides Submarine and Museum. Welcome, Beth Ann.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
So how did a World War II submarine end up in Muskegon, Michigan?
Yeah, so interesting story. But after World War II, the sub ended up in the Chicagoland area at the Great Lakes Naval Academy. And so it was used as a training vessel to help, naval sailors, basically, submariners, learn how to utilize a submarine and get some practice in. They kept the boat up for quite some time, but then it became obsolete at that point. And so the group of individuals who brought it together into what is now known as Navy Pier became a nonprofit, and they kept up the boat for quite some time. In about the, I would say early 80s, the discussion started happening about Navy Pier and what Chicago wanted to do with that space. And apparently a World War II submarine, at least a U.S. one, was not part of the cards. And so they were talking about scrapping it. And Muskegon, they answered the call of, yeah, we would love a World War II Gato-class submarine here. And so the group that was in Chicago plus a group from Muskegon really made it all happen, and they ended up towing it here. And it's been in a couple of different spots from what I understand, but lives on the channel now along with sister ship, the Coast Guard cutter McLean, which was also in Chicago until about 1993. So, yeah.
And you said it's on the channel. I mean, we have so many boats in and out of that channel. People could just be driving past on the road or boating past on the channel and pass by it and not even realize that this historic submarine is sitting there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You won't miss it when you go by it, that's for sure, but you might not know exactly what you're looking for.
Can I get on that thing?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So how many World War II submarines are still active? How many can we tour around the United States? This seems like a pretty unique attraction.
Yeah. So according to, I think it's submarinemuseum.org, they've got about 25 in the U.S. at this point. And not all of them are U.S. submarines, but, on the Great Lakes alone, we have 3 realistically. So there's one in Cleveland, then we have Silversides, and then one across in Wisconsin as well, the USS Cobia. And so we're kind of starting our own little Great Lakes club and chatting a lot and exchanging ideas and preservation efforts and really, really coming together to preserve these vessels.
So you mentioned preservation. This submarine is literally floating in the water. I realize it's not salt water, but what are some of the challenges of having that submarine in the water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year-round?
Yes. So every day is a new day, and every day brings its own challenges, especially when you are talking about an 82, 83-year-old submarine. So not only do you have preservation efforts inside the sub, but obviously outside against water intrusion, corrosion, all of those things. But, it's expensive to have a sub. And so everything goes into that. We learned this past year that an oil change alone is going to be about $15,000. And so that's an effort that we are working on actively right now to make sure that happens before the end of the year, because we haven't had an oil change in many, many years. Along with that is, right, I know, right? You think about going, yeah.
$15,000
yes.
for $90 for my car?
Exactly. Big difference there.
Yeah.
But we still start 2 of the engines. And so it's important for us as a preservation effort to make sure that we do change the oil in that sub. Along with that, it's important for us to get it out of the water and actually inspect the hull. So I was just on the phone with a couple of different companies as far as underwater sonar surveys, seeing what's going on under there so that we can have an educated discussion with our dry dock. Because we do want to bring that in a couple of years, hopefully, if we can raise the money to be able to take it across the lake into a dry dock and overhaul it. So then we would be able to have it for so many more years and really preserve this history that we have right here in Muskegon.
That's just amazing that an 82-year-old engine is still running. You changed the oil in it. What are some of the other challenges with the boat, with the sub? I don't know if you call it a sub or a boat. But.
Yep, a sub or boat. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, so, expressing the story too is always something that we're working on and trying to get better at. We actually just had a 3-star admiral who used to be in charge of the submarine fleet visiting the museum, which was really, really cool. I didn't mention that in my notes now, did I? But he said, he was amazed at what we've done, and comparing it to some of the other submarine museums, he likes the fact that we have kept it as it would have been the day the crew stepped off. And of course, we're looking at adding some other interactive things so that people can really get a true sense of what that looked like for the crew. Like how did they eat and what did that look like and what did it smell like? And, I don't know, that there's an ice cream maker that could start working, and that's one of our efforts there too, is to try and get some of these really cool things that these submariners had at the tips of their fingers, and it made life just a little bit better. So we want to concentrate on some of that too as we're moving forward and telling the story. It's
really great. Keep the nostalgic of it, keep it really lifelike. Have you had any of the individuals who actually served on that ship come through?
Yes, we have. Now, many of them are, aging out, passing away. But we do have some crew members, their families are coming to visit, even this upcoming month, which we're really excited about. So at our upcoming Victory Gala, we'll have some crew members' families attending, which we can talk a little bit about that fun event. But we're still trying to actively engage with the family members. And you'll see a huge effort from the museum coming up here to gather all of those stories, to gather any other artifacts that the families might still have so that we can truly tell the story of what Silversides is all about.
An awesome tribute. I know I have an uncle that served in the Navy and was on aircraft carriers as a weapons technician.
Oh, wow.
And he will not go on a boat ever again.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see land.
Done.
But it's really cool to be able to tell that story of the greatest generation that truly, saved the world in World War II. Just really awesome. So thank you for that work.
Yeah.
So how much does it cost annually on a regular year to maintain that sub?
It's quite a bit. So, our operating budget is right under $1 million. Now, obviously, that's the museum as well. But, the boat, we could sink a lot more money into that to make sure it doesn't sink, right? And so we need to be engaging with our community more, we have global visitors who come out, and we need to really be stepping up our fundraising efforts and making sure that we are bringing in the funds to ensure that this piece of history will be around for a very long time.
Absolutely critical. And you're a nonprofit.
We are.
So tax-deductible giving.
That's right.
We'll give your website out as we close later, but donations are always accepted.
Yes, absolutely.
So how do you fundraise as a nonprofit? And how do you engage not just the local community, but as you said, the global community?
Yeah. So lots of different ways that you can get involved for sure. I mean, obviously people can always give their time, and that is equally effective. So they can volunteer at any time, get in touch with us, come on down. There's lots of different positions that you can take on if you want to help inside the gift shop, if you want to be a field trip docent and hang out with the kids, if you want to teach an ROV class, because we have submersible remotely operated vehicles, and we do that through our overnight program and field trips as well. We're hoping to expand that program. And then overnight adventure guides as well. So individuals who are willing to come out and hang out with the kids and adults that come and stay overnight on the sub, provide programming, get them excited about history and STEAM opportunities that are at the Silversides, and really engage with people. So you can always volunteer. As far as other donations, as far as monetary donations go, we have a Buy a Brick program You can fly a commemorative flag over the submarine or a Coast Guard Cutter McLean as well. And then, of course, you can also join, a monthly giving program, planned giving. And then we also have some events. So we have our big gala coming up, our Victory Gala. It's new this year. And so it is a 1940s USO themed event. So, ration cards for your drink tickets, war bonds for some pledge cards. We've got some activities going on. We will be starting the engines. So engines 3 and 4 will start up. And hopefully we'll be able to get a picture of everybody dressed in their best either 1940s or, current year is fine too. But we want to get everybody out on the deck and enjoying that rumble under their feet for sure.
So when is the date for that?
Yeah,
fundraiser?
that
Real
one is
critical.
coming up real fast, actually. It's September 21st. So definitely, we're looking for some sponsorships still. We're also looking for some silent auction items so people can give towards that. We've got a raffle going on, and then we'll also have some games too. So some fun things that we're still working on, but fun to sub. So you'll be able to shoot with some water guns and have some fun at this event as well. But we also really want to tell the story of those crew members too. So you'll see some crew member identities and talk a little bit more about that. And we also have our own Bob Hope for this event. It is a USO theme, so we will be having Gary Nealand as our Bob Hope for the evening. And so we're very excited about that too.
That is awesome. I wish I'd have known that a couple days ago
Yeah.
when I saw Gary on the golf course. That's great. So kids, adults, they can sleep on the sub.
Yes.
And you have overnight trips with
Yes.
sleep in the real bunks and see how your back feels when you wake up.
Absolutely. So I slept in the forward torpedo room right next to a torpedo, cuddled up right next to it, just a few years ago. But, I was introduced through the Boy Scouts of America, actually, as a camp staff member. And we were selling these excursions for the kids to go out to different activities, and Silversides was one of them. And so we said, well, no one really knows anything about this USS Silversides submarine. Why haven't we checked this out yet? So after a couple of years of selling the excursions, we got a group of staff members together on a Saturday night. And I have to say that submarine was comfier than our staff cabins. And everyone had these huge plans of we're going to play hide and go seek and we're going to play cards just like they did. And what would our scouts do? And I think we were all asleep by 9:30, and it was a great night.
Oh, that's amazing. And the best part is you're not getting shot at.
That's right. It was comfy in the
It's
channel.
safe.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. So probably the question for everybody who wants to come to the gala, is the ice cream maker going to be working by then?
We are going to try and get the ice cream maker going, but fun fact actually is Hawaii, the USO in Hawaii was the number one producer during World War II of ice cream sundaes. And so we will be serving ice cream sundaes at our gala with that tidbit of information.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like our listeners to know about, Beth Ann?
I would love for more community members, local community members, to get involved or let us know how they want to get involved. What would they like to see from us? So we'll be doing some listening sessions over the next several months, and we're really excited to get some feedback, see where we should go. But I think that, the community is going to see some big things from USS Silversides, and I'm excited to see that, but we'd love to have more involvement for sure.
Well, I know your energy and enthusiasm will carry it on. You've been there about a year, and there's already been tremendous change. So great to see that happening, and really want to see that submarine grow in its capacity and outreach. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
For more information on the USS Silversides, please visit silversidesmuseum.org. Thank you for listening on behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon.